Nou, so much. Spreek ich wie Sheyla Garcia. Now, you may be wondering, what did Sheyla just say? Well, I said, hello, good afternoon, my name is Sheyla Garcia. In Quiche. Quiche is a dialect from Guatemala, and I am Guatemalan. Guatemala is a small country in Central America with a population of about 16.34 million people. So I want to get into a personal story. My paternal grandmother, she knew how to speak Quiche fluently, but she never really taught it to my father nor his siblings because she felt that they wouldn't really benefit from learning the language since the most common language spoken in Guatemala is Spanish. Therefore, he never taught it to my sisters and I. As I grew older, I became more aware of the fact that I was missing out on such an important part of my identity, and this prompted me to want to learn Quiche as my Senior X project. So I decided to ask my uncle to teach me Quiche, and I have learned a lot about the language, but I haven't learned the language completely, and I do want to continue learning Quiche. So now that I have talked to you guys about Quiche, I would like to shift your attention to a question that has crossed my mind. Is it possible that one day in the future there will be only one language spoken in the whole entire world? This is certainly possible. Every century, about half of the endangered languages become extinct. And at this rate, it is very likely and possible that there will only be a few languages spoken in the future. There are about 7 billion people in the world, and about 7,000 recorded languages, and 78% of the world population speaks the 85 largest languages, while 3,500 of the lesser-known languages only have about 8.25 million people who speak those languages, showing the great difference between the two. So the United Nations, the UNESCO, which is the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, says that there are about 574 endangered languages and about 229 extinct languages. So this shows us that there is a large quantity of languages which are slowly becoming extinct. These statistics show that endangerment and extinction of languages is a real problem. So what are the reasons that cause languages to become extinct? Some of the main reasons are that individuals decide to learn languages which are most common, such as English, Spanish, and Mandarin, because they believe them to be more beneficial, and they often forget about their native languages because they don't practice them anymore and they don't teach them to others, such as their children. The government also plays a large role in the extinction of languages because they are the ones who, they mainly favor one certain language over the rest in their education and mass media. For example, here in the United States, the most commonly used language is English. In Guatemala, it's Spanish. In China, it's Mandarin. So this shows us that because the government decides to pay most focus on a certain language, other languages are becoming extinct. As I previously stated with the example of my father and my grandmother, parents often encourage their children to learn that certain language which the government has decided because they believe that their children will be more successful knowing that language instead of their native language, such as Quiche. So it is very important to learn these endangered languages because they allow for more open-mindedness about other cultures, and also they help us learn more about people in these cultures. So I have become aware that many people outside of the United States and other countries know a lot about the US, the culture in the US, the language, English, but not many citizens in the US know about cultures outside in other countries. So learning endangered languages will be a step towards unifying the world and comprehending other cultures. So you may be asking yourself, why is this girl, this high school girl, talking about endangered languages and how they will eventually become extinct? And why is she doing this? Well, I'm doing this because I don't want there to be less cultural diversity, I don't want there to be a loss of history and heritage, and I don't want there to be a loss of identity, just like how I felt when I learned that I hadn't grown up knowing Quiche. So I want to end my my TED Talk by stating a quote. The limits of my language means the limits of my world. So that quote was stated by Ludwig Wittgenstein. He was Austrian-British philosopher. And what that quote means to me is that if we do not learn multiple languages, we are not going to be able to comprehend other cultures fully. That means goodbye, thank you.